I'm Ed with Teixeira Tech, and I'm here today with our newest release, the YFZ450R A-Arms that are engineered for the LTR geometry. So when designing these A-Arms, we wanted to eliminate the front end push of the YFZ450R. We also wanted to build the highest ground clearance A-Arms possible, and we wanted to build the best strength to weight ratio A-Arms that we could. So to accomplish this, we first started off with US sourced 4130 Chromoly tubing for both the A-Arms and for the tie rods. Next, we had to address the push. So the push in the corners, obviously a lot of people have gone to a caster bracket, which we also have. And then we wanted to transfer more weight to the front of the quad, so when you go into a corner, it would really bite. So what we've done is shorten the wheelbase a little bit for this, and we've gone slightly wider than what our other A-Arms were. So to accomplish the ground clearance side of it, we opted to go with a shorter shock, a little bit outside the norm of what's being done in the industry right now. But what this has allowed us to do is raise all of the tubing, gussets, everything on the A-Arm up higher. That gives us more clearance. We've always had a press and ball joint. The reason for the press and ball joint is now we don't have the shaft sticking out and causing an area where you could get hung up, especially by the tire where it drops into the ruts. So we've gained all the ground clearance here. We've gained the ground clearance under the shock by raising it, and we've always had our ground clearance in this area. This allows us to do what we believe is the broadest, most amount of ground clearance area under the A-Arm. The other thing that this accomplishes by shortening the shock is the higher the shock is on the A-Arm, the more your progression curve is going to be for your suspension. This translates to being able to have lighter spring rates in the beginning and still have a good progression so that you can have good bottoming resistance. So the more plush your A-Arm or your suspension is, obviously the less tired you're going to get, the better traction you're going to get, more predictability. We've gone a step further to protect your shock, and we have our shock guard. It's an integrated shock guard on the bottom. This protects your eyelet from getting destroyed from all the abuse on the trails. Everything's 4130 Chromoly TIG welded on the uppers and the lowers. We do have our CXC adjustment system, which you can see here. It is a toothed washer and caster housing that you can adjust caster within 5 minutes or less on both sides, and it won't affect your camber if done correctly. The other thing we've done to help shed some weight is that we're actually using 4130 Chromoly tubing so that you don't have a solid center. 4130 is much stronger than stainless, so you don't need a solid bar with all the extra weight. To simplify installation or removal of the A-Arms, we've always had an integrated threaded bung. We've now gone to a hex housing, so you can drop your lock nut in and it's held in with a snap ring. If you mess up your threads, don't worry. You just take the snap ring out, remove the nut, toss it, stick a new one in, put snap ring in, you're ready to go. Okay. We've got our caster bracket. This raises the back of the upper A-Arm. That way then when you go into a corner, instead of adding caster and making the steering stiffer, you're actually lightening the steering so it's easier. And when you get on the gas, A-Arms drop out, you've got a more stable setup. Our caster bracket, which has included this since day one, has a bolt alignment sleeve. So you remove your stock sleeve and you insert our bolt alignment sleeve. And what this sleeve does is it goes into the frame and it has an angle to it. So when the bolt comes out, it's actually coming through at an angle and goes up to your new threaded hole for it. So this allows the bolt to come through at an angle and straight at the new threaded hole, rather than having to force it up and bend it into the threaded hole. The other thing that we have done is we use high quality spherical bearings in all of our mounts. So as you know, most frames from the factory are not perfectly straight. So sometimes you go to stick your bolt through the front mount and then the one through the rear mount, and they don't line up. Using a spherical bearing as your pivot will allow the bearing to pivot slightly. A couple degrees is all it takes. And now you have bind-free suspension action. These are the points that we feel make our A-arms the best that they can be. If you have any more questions, please drop them below or call us at 209-833-9160 or email us at info@teixeiratech.com and we'd be happy to help you. Thanks.